Gareth A. Davis talking absolute nonsense about I need to be careful what I wish for. Listen, I'm not calling out Jake Paul, but I'm calling him out for what he is and what he's doing. He's a fake
conference. And there has been one thing that has happened. It appears that Froch and John Fury have an agreement to always talk back and forth before or after every Tyson Fury fight. Absent from the build-up, interestingly, Big John Fury, a fighter on the hard road, called Tyson Fury a disgrace to British boxing and an incompetent fighter who, despite his height and weight advantage,
There was one thing missing, wasn't it, at the press conference, and there's been one thing missing in the build-up. Big John Fury, the fighting man, 100 on the hard road. That man has gone. He's vanished.
Tyson Fury is well under the expectations placed on him. He was 6 feet 9 inches and 20 stone. I've already told you what I would do: invade Russia. However, since I'm not that large or hefty, I'm not sure whether I could ever defeat it. Froch, the former super middleweight world champion, was ringside when he posted on his YouTube channel that the correct man won, but you could have never said that Fury win that bout, so there are no complaints other than the fact that he has his sights set on the prize.
And 6'9". I've told you what I'd do. I'd fucking invade Russia. But I'm not that big and I'm not that heavy. So, I don't know if I could ever lose if I was that big.
Around Tyson, around Usyk, there were 3, 4, and 5 rounds, and I couldn't really tell them apart. I believe the turning point was probably when Usyk got a little closer in round 67. Although there was nothing in this fight, I believe Frank Warren is at ringside complaining that it was a robbery. He is likely watching it with his emotional glasses on, believing that Tyson Fury has won the fight and they will receive the trilogy. Tyson began to tire, as I expected him to do. In the end, Alexander Usyk prevailed by 4 or 5 rounds, matching the judges' score on my scorecard. Alexander Usyk completed the task, got the victory and kept his titles in what was a pretty interesting fight that kind of had you sitting there watching with them. I wasn't enthralled, but I was intrigued because I thought John Fury should know that his son has brought shame to British boxing. He might be silent before his son's fight and even after, but it's unlikely that he will speak out. Keep quiet when Fr Usyk's images were received, but Alexander Usyk, who is in a separate class there, ended up taking the most striking pictures because, when you look at the weight and side as Tyson Fury prepares for the upcoming fight with Alexander Usyk, Nottinghamshire boxing legend Froch has advised him to think about removing his father from the team. This suggestion follows John Fury's father Drew. Despite an initially cordial tone between Tommy and Till, things took a turn for the worse when John started squirting water at Till, resulting in a confrontation that
you could have never said that Fury won that fight. So there's no complaints other than Bricktop at ringside, but like I said, he's got one eye on the prize, hasn't he? But let's be honest, the
versus Darren Till press event at the launch conference. Tyson is most likely aware of that. Actually, pay attention, Dad. You want me to succeed and you have the best interests of your heart at heart, but do me a favor. When doing an interview with action, keep out of the way. Fury Sr.'s typical pitiful juvenile behavior from an adult man was chastised by Network Frost. Although Darren was quite outspoken and had a lot to say, Tommy Fury and Darren Till are the main focus, so why is Big Tyson Fury, the fighting man's son, is obviously extremely excellent and a top boxer, and we know
Tyson probably knows that actually, listen Dad, you've got your best intentions at heart. You want me to win, you want me to do the business, but do me a favour,
just lost to Alexander Usyk. Perhaps he's in the camp, assisting his kid, or simply keeping his mouth shut while he watches and cheers him on to victory. Simply staying away and letting the actual trainers handle the work, but, no. Big John Fury, I missed him. Where is John? Why does Big John talk about shoving John out of Tyson's corner? When Tyson was getting ready when asked about his strategy for the upcoming fight, Tyson said, I know what I've got to do, nothing drastic. People can say I want to change trainers, or I'll blame it on my conditioning coach, or I'll blame it on the cook, or I'll blame it on the mouse. Fury was eager to even the score in his eagerly anticipated rematch against Usyk following his
Fury just sits back, keeps his mouth shut, watches his son and wills him on to win. Maybe he's in the camp, maybe he's helping him and just keeping the distance and letting the real trainers do the job. But yeah, no Big John Fury, I missed him. Where's John? Where's Big
round? I have him ahead 6-5 after 11 rounds, with some close rounds, but I can't see how he is losing this as he's pressing the fight and outlasting Tyson Fury. I know what I have to do, and the fact that Tony Bell and Kyle Fr didn't make any money out of the game is obviously hurting him, and I'm making the biggest bets ever. Grabs here a knockdown wins this for Fury Bellew, who then scored at 1010 in the final round, making Usyk a 115-114 winner on his scorecard. It was a great chess match, and I couldn't tell them apart. To be honest, neither of them can complain, but I think Usyk did enough and outlanded and pressed the fight while he agreed with the outcome. Bellew felt that all three judges scoring at 1-6 to 112 was too wide, and I was really certain that I won that fight again. Got Lariums, sweetheart, I thought I had won both fights, but I've now lost twice, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and try my hardest, but I'll always think until I'm too late, but I did have him win, and I understand why. Tyson Fury is a warrior who deserves a lot of respect for returning to the ring with him months ago. Fury got into a fight with both Bellew and Froch after Kyle Fr criticized Fury for avoiding Alexander Usyk to fight the former UFC World Heavyweight Champion, but Tyson Fury, the former heavyweight champion of the World Boxing
I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here. I thought I've won both fights, but then again I've gone home with 2 losses on my record now, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and do the best I can. But again,
former Ultimate Fighting Championship heavyweight champion Nanu in favor of the big game-changing bout against the former World Boxing Association, World Boxing Organization and International Boxing Federation heavyweight champion and current undisputed world heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk. His name is Ngannou Tyson Fury. Opposing Ngannou Carl Frost and Tony Bellew, 2 retired former world champions, were particularly vocal about their displeasure with Fury's decision. Their remarks ruffled the feathers of the self-styled Gypsy King. "See these damn balls, lick them idiots," Fury said, referring to the fact that Bell and Froch didn't make any money out of the crossover fight between boxing, MMA, and boxing. The game is clearly detrimental to them. "I recently signed the biggest contract in boxing history, which I am not yet able to share with you. They say that all these media jerks use Tyson Fury's name to try to generate headlines, but without me, boxing wouldn't exist. I control the game," and Fury was criticized for demeaning the sport and its supporters. "I can speak for Tony Bell since I know he had a few financial trouble."
The big game changer. What's his name? Ngannou. Tyson Fury against Ngannou. So a crossover fight, boxing, MMA. Been there, seen it, heard it all before. See it with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. It's a load of rubbish. No
times. Froch added, "It's not classy to talk about money at all. Me and Tony have done all right. We've left the sport with our health intact, financially free, and physically and mentally in a good place." An elderly cruiserweight named Steve Cunningham Klitschko, "Vladimir, in a dreadful, foul battle I've defeated world champions 11 times, and you've defeated Deontay Wilder twice. I'll tell you something, you can have as much money as you want in your wallet when you attend the Hall of Fame party next year, but you won't be sitting at the top table with me or any of my peers. Lennox Lewis, what's he got? We've done fine, we're financially in."
It's not classy, is it? To talk about money, it's not classy at all. Me and Tony Bellew, and I can talk for Tony because I know he had a couple of lucrative fights on paper.
You should be defending your championship against other champions. You won't belong there with that CV dress. How many more fights do you have in the game? You're dying off your supporters by participating in these crossover fights, and it's awful to see that they're turning against you. It's pointless, and we shouldn't be aware of it because, I'm sorry, heavyweight simply differs an alternative, but promoter Eddie Hearn disagrees with the outcome of Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury's second fight, arguing that Saturday's bout should have been a draw. "See a fish, don't you think that the heavyweights tend to make all the money they do over decades of time? I think you know deep down that you're hurting the sport. Get in that ring with a real fighter like Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk." The victory was controversially given to Ukrainian boxer Usyk 37 on points, the same as in Saudi Arabia in February, when the current heavyweight champion won the clash 116-112 thanks to the ruling of all 3 judges. The result caused a heated argument in the boxing.
We've done all right. We've got out of the sport financially free, with, more importantly, our health intact. We're physically and mentally.
Just fight my heart out and believe until the day I die that I won that fight. I thought it was really hard to split him up, but luckily I had a transmitter in there because otherwise I would have been down. Fury claimed that his opponent had received a Christmas gift. Christmas spirit in there, and I believe he received a small Christmas present from the judges. He explained that Fury lost the first fight and made a split decision because the British Museum had stolen other nations for centuries.
We don't need to know about it because
heavyweight is just a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
the heavyweights tend to make all the money they do over decades of.
To 5 heading into the final. Hearn, the chairman of Matchroom Sports, claims that a draw would have been a fair outcome. Round, I thought it was a very close fight, he told IFL TV. I had the final round as a draw, but I noticed that many people had Usyk as the winner. Overall, I felt like there were a lot of close rounds, and the fact that the AI judge was not included in the official scoring made the fight even more wide for Usyk at 118 to 112. Hearn was satisfied with the judgment overall, but he agreed with Warren that Fury should have been awarded extra rounds.